Hi, good morning. Are you ready? If so, let's begin. Let's have curriculum development. And before we proceed in our formal discussion, let's have first a review. Let's see how ready you are to proceed. Let me ask you, what is assessment? Anyone? Okay, very good. Assessment is the systematic collection. There's a keyword, review, and use of information about educational programs undertaken for the purpose of improving student learning and development. Remember, students are the center of education. Therefore, in order to improve that, we must review it, and as we review it, we gather information. And that information is what we use to improve, to innovate the learning experience of every children. Another one, what are instructional materials specifically on training? Let's see your ideas. Okay, it contains the learner's guide, list of competencies, summary of learning outcomes, learning experiences, information sheet, self-check, task sheet, operation sheet, job sheet, and performance criteria checklist. As you can see, these are forms, letters, and a checklist, a list, wherein involve the information about the trainer and the trainee. So then the trainer involved are able to assess the capacity of the learners or the trainees. Let's have a game. Break the code. Are you ready? Just guess the word by looking at the hint inside the box. Each number has corresponding letters. What do you think is the word? Correct. It is reviewing. Number two. What do you think is the word? Yes. Very good. It's delivery. And last one, it's two words. It's two words. These are two words for the number three. Okay, training session. Again, I hope you are having a great day. From the word that is given from our game, what do you think is reviewing? Okay, looking back. Reviewing, looking back to what happened, what already happened. Delivery. Okay, how you deliver it, how you perform it, correct? And lastly, training session. What's training session? It's the application, the session, including the training. Now, our topic for today is reviewing delivery of training session. It's now a time wherein we review how we deliver the training session. We are going to look back, so for us to be able to improve, to assess it. And in reviewing delivery of training session, it is how we assess the effectiveness of training session. It enables us to see if we are able to meet the competency requirements. Na-meet ba natin yung mga requirements involved? We evaluate the training materials. Tama ba yung training materials na gamit natin? Is there a better way? Or there is a better training materials that we could use? We evaluate instructional methods. Effective ba yung pag-deliver natin ng methods? Tama ba na discussion? Tama ba na by application? We evaluate trainer's competence. Not only the training, but the trainer itself, yung nagtuturo. Is he competent enough? Evaluating learner's performance. Dahil nga, kung ano ang tinuturo ni teacher, doon nagre-reflect sa performance ni learner. So we also evaluate learner's performance. And in reviewing delivery of training session, we have different types. And number one is formative review. Informative review, what do you think? It is happening before, during, or after? It is conducted during the delivery of training session. It may include observation of training session, assessment of learning materials and resources, evaluation of instructional strategies, and feedback from participants. It could be it could be in a form of recitation during the training session. You get it? So as the session is being conducted, the trainer is able to evaluate his or her own instructional strategies. Number two, we have summative review. From the word summative, it is conducted after the completion of the training session to evaluate its overall effectiveness and impact. Nangyayari siya pagkatapos na ng training session. It aims to assess whether the training has achieved its intended outcomes and whether the participants have acquired the required skill and knowledge. Because as we could look back, before the training session started, we have intended outcomes. So in summative review, we review if we met those intended outcomes by what? By how the learners acquired the skill and knowledge necessary to move forward, and include assessments, tests, evaluation, and feedbacks from participants and other stakeholders. It could be in the form of tests, summative tests, or evaluation. And number three, so we have formative, summative, and let's have compliance review. In compliance review, it is conducted to ensure that the training session adheres to the established standards and guidelines by the set of test data. It also ensures that the training is being delivered in accordance with the prescribed curriculum, methodologies, and assessment processes. So in compliance review, minimake sure natin na na-meet ba ng delivery natin yung curriculum na sakop niya. Tama ba yung methodologies na ginamit? And assessment process. It include audits, inspection, assessment of training facilities, equipment, and resources. Because in compliance review, kung masabi natin na-meet niya yung curriculum, ibig sabihin, na-meet niya rin yung equipments na kailangan for teaching, yung facilities. Kasi kung halimbawang ang training dapat today is performance, dapat meron kang facilities, equipment necessary. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-discuss on a basis na dapat is performance ng learners. Number four is feedback review. Involves gathering feedback from participants, trainers, and other stakeholders to assess their satisfaction, perceptions, and suggestions for improving the training delivery. Aims to collect valuable insights and suggestions for enhancing training program and making it more effective and relevant. And we have continuous improvement review. Is an ongoing process that involves monitoring and evaluating the delivery of training session to identify areas of improving and implement changes accordingly. Aims to ensure that the training programs are continuously updated, refined, and improved based on feedback, evaluations, and changing the needs of the learners and industry. Because change is the only thing that is constant. So pag bago-bago, kailangan mag-improve. So dapat ang improvement ay continuous, tuloy-tuloy. Sinabi rin dito kanina sa atin na sa feedback review, we are gathering feedback from the stakeholders or even sa ating mga trainers. Trainers or trainees. And before we proceed, review, there are different types of review, which means in these types, you must be able to identify ano ba yung kailan pwede at dapat gamitin si formative review, kailan si summative, kailan effective si continuous, kailan effective si compliance review. You get it? Okay, let's proceed. In test the evaluation instrument for reviewing delivery of training sessions. So now, we are able to, to see what type of reviewing delivery we could use. Now we proceed on the instruments that we could use. We have 6: training evaluation form, skills demonstration checklist, knowledge assessment test, observation checklist, self-assessment form, and trainer's evaluation form. These are the evaluation instruments. Let's have the training evaluation form. It is a standardized form that captures feedback from the learners regarding the quality of the training delivery. Includes section for assessing the trainer's competence, training materials, training methods, and overall satisfaction with the training session. Ito yung finifilautan ng students tungkol kay trainer. Kung effective bang magturo si trainer, may natutunan ba si students? Dito kadalasan bumabawi si students kung ayaw nila, pag ayaw nila sa trainer nila. And we also include open-ended questions for qualitative feedback. Ito yung chinecheck. Ito kasi yung chinecheck natin na 1 to 5 and then sa baba is yung comments. So we include open-ended question wherein students may able to answer in words. Number 2 is skills demonstration checklist. A checklist that assesses the learner's performance during skills demonstration or practical assessments. Typically includes a list of specific skills or tasks that were taught during the training session. Dahil nga, during the training session, tinuturuan tayo ng skills. And after that specific teaching, after nun is the performance of the students na kung saan magre-reflect kung ano ang natutunan ni students na once it is demonstrated by the students, ibig sabihin, natuto nga or hindi man, hindi natuto si students. The learners are assessed based on their ability to perform these skills correctly and safely. Again, correctly and safely. Knowledge assessment test. From its word, masasabi agad natin na it could be exams or tests. Let's see, a written or online test that assesses the learner's knowledge and understanding of the training content. It may include multiple choice, true or false, or open-ended questions to assess the learner's grasp of concepts and principles taught during the training session. Dahil nga, meron tayong knowledge kanina is performance assessment test, ngayon naman is knowledge assessment. We have for performance, we have for the knowledge, including the principles and the concepts. Kung gaano ba kaalam ni Trini yung mga concepts na itunuro during the training. Observation checklist. This is a checklist naman na hawak-hawak ng trainer. Makikita niya yung soft skills ng students or trainees niya. It includes specific criteria for assessing the learner's performance such as communication skills, problem-solving ability, or teamwork. Paano ba nakikilang biho sa kanyang kagrupo, sa kanyang ka-teamwork? Because kadalasan sa performance, it is done by group or by pair. Self-assessment form. A form that allows learners to reflect on their own performance during the training session. This typically includes questions that prompt learners to assess their strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement, and provide feedback on their own learning experience. Ito namang self-assessment form, ang nag-fill out nito is si students. They internalize, ina-assess nila yung sarili nila, ano ba yung strengths, saan sila naging kapalay nila na magaling, saan sila palagi nila pwedeng mag-improve and provide feedback on their own learning experience, on their own, sa sarili nila. Kaya nga self-assessment form. And lastly is trainer's evaluation form, a form that allows trainers or assessors to reflect on their own performance as a trainer. Includes questions related to the instructional methods, training materials, communication skills, and overall effectiveness as a trainer. As you can see, the specific evaluation instrument used may vary depending on the type of training program, target audience, and training objectives. Depends nga sa kung anong purpose na paggagamitan mo. Different purpose, different specificity, and different effectiveness. It is important to carefully select and customize evaluation instrument to align with the specific requirements of the training session and ensure the feedback obtained is meaningful and useful for improvement. Dahil kung ang i-evaluate mo si trainee, bakit ka gagamit ng trainer's evaluation form? It doesn't make sense. Kaya naman dapat may dahilan ka kung paano gagamitin yon, saan mo gagamitin and use kung ano ba yung pinaka-appropriate for the improvement of teaching and learning. This ay part of a training regulation under unit competency. May nakilagay na unit competency, facilitate learning session, unit code, and unit descriptor. And kung makikita niyo sa number 5 is the review of delivery of training session, which what we discussed. Nakalagay dito kung na appropriate training session evaluation are used, nagamit ba ng in or delivery, review of delivery of training session, nagamit ba ng tama yung instrument. Interpretation is made on the result of evaluation and delivery of training session, and adjustments of delivery of training session are made based on the result of evaluation. Now, do you have any questions? Just put in your paper and submit it. We're supposed to have an activity, but since we're online, we'll get it passed. And let's have a recitation quiz. Straight through or false? Compliance review includes assessment, test, evaluation, and feedback. It is false. It should be summative review. Observation checklist is a checklist used by trainers or assessors to observe and assess the learner's performance during the training activities, such as workplace, simulations, or group discussion. True or false? It is true. It is true that it is an observation checklist. Summative review includes audits, inspections, and assessments of training facilities, equipment, and resources. It is false. It should be compliance review. Very good. Formative assessment conducted during the delivery of training session. During, is it correct? It's true. It is true that it's formative assessment. And number 5, trainer's evaluation form includes questions related to the instructional methods, training materials, communication skills, and overall effectiveness as a trainer. It is true. Well done. I hope you learned something today. Thank you for listening. Again, I am Franz R, Jimenez, and I'm from Auto-F4B for compliance of curriculum development under supervision of Ma'am Sarah. Thank you so much.